Tell our tales. Tell our tales. Tell our tales.
And so the kingdom gathered. All were invited, all were welcome.
We attended, press passes in hand, unsure if this would be a joyous or contentious event. Fairy tale or otherwise, we were going to be there to capture it.
Thank you all for being here. We all know the others are constantly pushed aside. And that's why I call this meeting. Let's hear from you. How can things change?
Well, for starters, who did we decide that we were the others anyway? Nothing against the mains. Many people here have done incredible things with their lives. Nothing against them.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. And I got a question. You said all are invited. So, where are the mains?
I know. Unfortunately, I did not receive any RSVPs. I know. That was not what I hoping for.
How do we put the change? We're not here to hear it.
Yes. Wait. Wait. Silence, please. Hortensia?
I know what you're feeling. I literally feel everything you're feeling. And I know we've been feeling it for a long time. There is so much good in this world. And you're all examples of that. You have quirks and passions and purpose. And you all have your own unique story to tell. And you're all worthy of telling it. This kingdom is legendary. But we forget that we're all part of those legends too. I used to think that the other stories were more important, that their voices were more deserving of being heard. But they weren't more important. They were just louder. And that's not to take away from those stories, but they've been told and retold again. And let's be honest, some of those retellings have not been that great. Let's raise our voices. Let's tell our tales. You might think you're too ordinary, but I guarantee if people got to know you, they would, I don't know, watch a whole show about you or something.
I know I would. Definitely!
Yes!
Bam, baby!
Fair?
So what now?
Well, we need representation.
Yes.
We need visibility. We need to think beyond mains and others. We need leadership that understands us. We need...
Me! I'll do it! Stan, that's your cue?
Yeah, we're gonna pay me for this week. Oh my gosh, it's Cinderella!
Cinderella, girl, what are you doing here?
You need a leader? Well, I'm here to lead.
And you think you can represent us how?
You forget, I'm just like you. I'm the poster child from rags to riches. In fact, I have a poster ready to go for any occasion. See, I'm economical too.
No.
So, we've decided?
No offense, but I'm not really seeing your rags. All I see are your riches.
Yeah! We don't need you.
Thank you. So, we're decided?
Someone does need to step up. So...
Well, we need to vote too.
We need to be seen.
We need to be heard.
Unfortunately, that was our last day in the kingdom.
We wanted to stay longer. However, the local government informed us that our visas would be turning into pumpkins by midnight, so we headed back home.
It was difficult to leave our story of what felt such a key moment, a moment that felt historic.
We lived in the editing room for the next couple months, hoping that this would be worthy of many people we met on our journey. No matter how much we edited, we thought that this story was incomplete.
That's when we received the letter from Hortensia.
Dear parents, as you may know, we don't get a lot of visitors around here. I think we were all a little nervous to talk to, but I think that's because no one had ever asked us about us before. I was ready to tell you everyone else's epic tales, but I wasn't prepared to tell you about myself. I wasn't even sure I had anything to tell. But you allowed us to realize that whether or not our stories are known all around the world, they still have so much value, and we thank you for that. And as a special thank you, I wanted to give you an update on how things have been going around here since we left.
After the big meeting, Carol and Lucas met up with more townspeople who had previously been cursed in the Beast Castle. They pooled their stories together and published a collective memoir about their time in the castle. Even Melissa the Plate lent a hand in getting their collected work published. Carol is now developing The Magical Lives of Forks and Knives into a new musical. Upon hearing Jerome and Sally's story, Rapunzel reached out and offered them jobs as the palace hairdressers. However, they turned her down, explaining their commitment to their community. Now, Rapunzel sponsors a monthly free haircut day where her palace pays for haircuts for townspeople in need at Jerome and Sally's new salon. Spritz is almost ready to graduate from professional shadow to professional stylist. We met Ginger at the big meeting, and we learned that she's a witch doctor. I can't speak for Bayard or Griselda, but I hadn't seen a doctor in years. I saw Ginger the next week, and I found out that I was allergic to lavender and motherwort. I kept getting hives when I was doing spells, but I thought it was just a witch thing. Now I know. You gotta get yourself checked out. I've sent so many witches Ginger's way. It turns out some of the witches we thought were evil just had undiagnosed conditions that were making them cranky. So, the use of dark magic has gone way down. I'll be honest, I had never heard of Angela before all this. None of us are fully sure what her story is, but she gained like 1,000 followers since you left, so she seems to be doing great. As for Periwinkle, I can't say much, but she and Red settled outside of court. Red's story will forever live on, but now at least a few people know Periwinkle's too. Bayard has become quite the outspoken representative, not just for male witches, but for any and all witches. He wants it to be known that anyone can be a witch. As Sebastian once said, all are invited, all are welcome. Speaking of Sebastian, I guess I'll soon be referring to Bayard as Prince Bayard. Expect an invitation in the mail soon. As for Cinderella, well, she's still Cinderella, but I think this experience has humbled her a bit. It turns out she actually really does like hanging out at Bo Peep's, and is really trying to make friends. She's actually really embraced the other Cinderellas of the kingdom. Detective Dawn and Griselda have both really made something of themselves. They both work directly with the Queen to keep the kingdom safe and peaceful. And which queen is that, you ask? The people spoke, and they chose me to be their queen.
and I will do everything in my power to be the people's queen. Oh, and if you're wondering which castle I'm at, it's the palace in the kingdom, just down the road from the village.
So that's our story, or more accurately, their story.
It's too soon to say if they lived happily ever after, but one thing for sure, they certainly lived.
1, 2, ready, and back to rap. I said back to rap. I said back to rap and dead. Back to rap. I said back to rap. I said back to rap and dead. Back to rap. I said back to rap. I said back to rap